YouTube? LJ Draco here. Yes, so as you can see, I'm still wearing my old glasses. I do wear my newer ones kind of throughout the day, but then towards the afternoon, night time, I take and put these ones back on just because I said they're still loose. The other ones are causing me a few migraines due to how tight they are. Anyway, I promised you guys a double 3D Blu-ray review because last week the video I'm doing today actually got corrupted, my original file, and I've had to re-upload this today and we'll basically redo the whole video. So yeah, let's just get into it. So today's 3D Blu-ray review is Frozen. Now, I don't really talk much about the story, so I won't talk much about the story. Let's just talk about the 3D Blu-ray and the Blu-ray itself first. So the Blu-ray itself, it offers quite nice visuals, a lovely use of a color palette, all these different types of animated features that we get. The animation style of the characters, of the snow, of the ice, of the mountains, of the castle, of the kingdom, the water in specific scenes. It just looks really fun. It's really pleasurable for the eyes. You know, like we don't like too much animation, but when we do get some really good animation, we can just live with it because of how beautiful it is. Not only that though, like I said, people say all animated movies look really good on Blu-ray. I don't agree with that. I mean, I've seen some animated movies where they look quite bad. But you know, it's not the movie's fault. Sometimes, I mean, even cartoon movies can get really bad transfers. But the Blu-ray is definitely something that I would recommend people picking up. But let's just talk a little bit about the 3D at first. Now, the 3D is mostly, I'd say about 80% depth, which does it affect 3D viewing? Of course not. Why? Because it's lovely to see such a big place get such a depth view, purely for the fact that we get to see like the depth between the walls of the castle and the kingdom, the nice long corridors of the castle. When Elsa's building the Snow Kingdom, like the Snow Castle, or the Ice Castle. I'm sorry, because I've already done this video, it's putting a bit of stress on my thoughts. But yeah, I mean, well, here's a good example. When she's building this, you get some nice depth between this little curved mountainy thing and the castle, you know. So it's nice to see that. But the pop out, I will admit, the pop out has some slight Beauty and the Beast 3D pop out, because like when she's singing and dancing, she hits the floor and you see the nice snowflake pattern hit the ice. It's beautiful because you see a little depth between the ice and the pattern. But then as it reaches the walls and you see that little crystally ice chandelier forming, and the spikes kind of stick out the screen and they kind of do like a full circle. That's pretty cool. So there's about 20% pop out, but 80% depth. I still think for this specific movie, the 3D works well in that aspect. I don't think you need an over amount of pop out for it. And I also think that, I mean, I'm a big fan of pop out 3D. I think pop out 3D is the best kind of 3D. But I think if this movie had way too much pop out, it would kind of distract from the story, whereas the depth just kind of adds a nice feel. Plus, it's a really dark movie, so the pop outs wouldn't be too noticeable. I know I've said there's some good colours, and there are some really nice colours used in it, but it's still set mostly at night, so there's still that. But what I mean by dark is, I mean, like, it's a sad tale. So you're supposed to feel the realism behind this story in some aspects. So if there's too much pop out, you're just thinking it's too much, and you know you're not going to enjoy it. But with the nice use of depth, it kind of adds to the feel. If you get my drift. Now, I do not prefer this movie over Tangled. I think Tangled is a much better movie, but I did enjoy Frozen. I'm looking forward to Frozen 2. Now, also a quick side note. In Frozen 2, Disney are considering giving Elsa a female love interest. Now, this is where there's going to be a lot of problems. There's a lot of people out there that's like, oh, I'm not going to let my child watch that because, you know, lady and lady, no. But yet that dad has watched Lesbian and enjoyed every second of it. Now, It's a different turning to what I was trying to. I'm not saying that Elsa and her girlfriend are going to bump uglies in a Disney movie, but my point is, it is 2019. Children are growing up very, very fast in, the LGBT communities now. Like, I mean, every day there are people walking around who are in love with the same sex, and it's not a problem. It's not really affecting us, so we should just get over it. If they're happy, they're happy. It's not causing any damage. But in the end, I mean, I think the reason they're trying to introduce Elsa to having a girlfriend in the second movie is to try and ease. If a child just walks out on the street and sees two men or two women, and instantly, because of what they're being brought up to think, they're just going to go, ugh, that's not right. Whereas if they see it in a movie, and especially in a kid's movie, they see it in a movie, it's kind of introducing them to like, oh, well, if these Disney princesses are allowed to do it, why can't anyone else? You know? With how many years the girls go, well, Cinderella got to take a night off of doing the housework and wear a beautiful gown and go to a ball. Why can't I not tidy my room today and just go to a dance? Like, girls, it's a big thing, but like, it just shows that sometimes it's okay. Even the most inspirational people to us can have their own life. And I think it's better than because one thing I hate as well is people because any community, like whether you're straight, whether you're bi, whether you're gay, anyone from that community, there are some people who will just try and force their feelings down other people's necks. Like, you get straight people turn around and go, no, it's man and woman and that's it. Not always. There are gay or lesbian couples that go, oh, no, it's man or woman only and that's all. You're not supposed to have the other. And that's also not true. I mean, you shouldn't be forcing these kind of, like, it should be one or the other. If someone grows up thinking that, that they are one thing, but they don't feel like they are, then that's fine. But don't try and control people and telling them that whatever they think is always wrong, because that's what leads to a lot of teenage suicides. Because teenagers grow up thinking they're wrong because their parents have told them that they're wrong. Not just people out there, but I mean, especially as a kid, it's always horrible when you hear your parents turn around to you and say you're wrong or disgusting for thinking a certain way. So I think this is just a way of, everyone knows that parents aren't going to do that great of a job of trying to introduce their kids to the. I'm not saying people are bad parents, because I know a lot of people who, especially in this community, who are great parents. And I'm not saying that parents are evil, because I know some parents who genuinely don't care. They'll let their kids grow up and have their own feelings and thoughts, which is what parenting is helping your children along the way until they grow up and then make their own mind. That's fine. That's great parenting. But I'm talking about the ones who are like, oh, well, if they turn around to their boy and they go, if you look at another boy, you're going to get a smack because that's not right. Like that's not fair. Just let them grow up first and and they can finally make up their mind. But the more you also try and tell them not to, they will just despite you, and you don't want that. So we all know what they're like. They always do the opposite. But I think this is just a nice way of introducing children into the way the world's going to work in the future. They're not going to grow up and think the world's been the same, because it wasn't for us. So, I just... Plus, I mean, if Disney don't do it now, they're going to get a lot of hatred. And there's already enough hatred out there for a lot of things. So, and it's going to happen anyway, at any time. And plus, Elsa kind of has the personality as if she doesn't like men anyway. So it kind of works. I mean, if they were to give her a male love interest, it would be very unbelievable. Because she doesn't actually like anybody, really, other than her sister. So, I mean, if you used to put a love interest... I mean, I think in general a love interest might be a bit of a problem. But if they do take it down that route of giving her a female love interest, I'd love to see how they do it. There is a big possibility that they can mess the whole story up with that. There is a possibility. But what if it's really good? And what if it connects to a lot of people? Surely we'd want that as well. So, that's enough of my rant. Oh, well, that's enough of my rant on that. But, yeah, so the question I always ask about 3D Blu-rays is the 2D always worth buying over the 3D and vice versa? I'd say that, I think kind of similar to Big Hero 6, it is perfectly fine in its 2D form. You do not have to watch it in 3D. But if you've got a 3D setup, you might as well pay the extra couple of pounds or dollars and pick up the 3D version, because it does add something small, but it doesn't add a lot. So in my personal opinion, the 2D gets, I'd say in this case they're actually both even. I'd give them both 4 out of 5 stars, just because I think that's, yeah, 4 out of 5 stars seems fair for me. Only reason I don't get 5 stars is because I'm not too overly keen on the movie. That's why. But in terms of watchable quality, they're both really pretty much even. Now, as you may have noticed in my Big Hero 6 review, I forgot to add the stars. Reason being is because I accidentally just pressed produce the video without finally editing it. So that was kind of my error. Hopefully I will not make the same mistake this time. Now, I do have another review to do after this, because I promised you 2. So, that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video and previous videos, don't forget to strike the like for future videos. If you're new to my channel and only seen a couple of my videos, click that subscribe button down below. I'd surely appreciate it. Anyway, take care, you wonderful, wonderful people. And I shall see you next time. Bye-bye!